everybody, welcome to another video and good morning from Monte Albán in Oaxaca, Mexico. Monte Albán is an ancient Zapotec city around 2,000 years old, 1,500, 2,000 years old, and it's a pretty massive complex. So today I'm going to show you guys around. Hope you guys enjoy. Sí. Go ahead. Oh, sure. Thank you. Sure. I guess, just I don't know if you guys can hear that howling. I'm not sure what that is. It's almost like cicadas, but it sounds a little different. Also, if you happen to forget your hat or umbrella, you can buy them here. As well as artesanías, artisanal things, handicrafts. What is this? Gracias. Here's the first building we come across. It says this was a pyramid, and then they had to excavate part of it, and then they found like a more ancient structure underneath. Tombs 113, 114, and 118. Pretty basic, got some steps down, hole in the ground. And like I said before, they were buried in these really ornate urns. And you can see a lot of these urns down in the cultural center, down in Oaxaca. This place up here says it has 4 tombs in it. It said most of the residences at the time just had 1 tomb, but this one had 4, and this is up kind of on the heights above the other one. Some fancy people must have lived here. It's kind of cool. It's kind of a labyrinth going through here. Over here you can see the main part of the city, up on this hilltop over here. Got some nice ones over there, and going way over there. Kind of cool because this is like a complete city up here on this mountain. So here's the main complex of Monte Albán. Pretty massive. This thing over here is pretty interesting. It's an obelisk. It's the oldest obelisk here, and it was used to tell the time. Using the shadows, they could tell midday, and then also the seasons, and there's a lot of various uses for it. And they think it's from the year 100 BC, somewhere around there, about the time that Christ was born. So a couple of recommendations if you come here: make sure you bring a hat, lots of water, and possibly sunscreen if you need it. As you can see, there's not a lot of shade. I mean, there's a tree right here with some benches underneath of it, but besides that, there's not much. And we are on top of a mountain, so it does get pretty hot up here. So these are really interesting and beautiful statues or carvings. This is called the Gallery of the Dancers, and they're all naked men. I saw one of these at the cultural center yesterday. They're all naked men. Some of them are castrated, and they think they're possibly like leaders of other tribes that got conquered, castrated and sacrificed, possibly. If you can see down here, this guy's got this thing missing. And a lot of these, they said they date from around the year 100 to 500 AD. Correction, the Gallery of the Dancers is from 200 to 500 BC, not 80. Oh, got a duck for this one. Gallery of the Dancers. Alright, it looks like this one we can actually climb up. The stairs look ridiculously steep. Although this isn't my first time climbing up an ancient pyramid. steps are actually pretty wide. They're pretty tall, so it's a little awkward, but not bad. I didn't even notice it coming up, but they do have a handrail, which makes it kind of easy on this one side. So not too tough a climb. It is pretty hot right now. Now I think we're at the highest point of Mount Albán. Actually, I guess the top of this pyramid would be, although we're not allowed to climb this one. Got some prickly pear up this elevation with graffiti. Luna was here, Ashley was here, Kelly. Thanks for vandalizing, Kelly. All this is pretty well preserved considering it's like up on this mountaintop, which I'm sure gets pretty weathered. And also there's a lot of earthquakes here in Oaxaca too. So the earthquakes, plus the weather here on the mountain. Got some views of these little towns. I think that's still Oaxaca City down here. It's around the beginning of May here in Oaxaca. And so I thought it'd be super hot, but it's not. Compared to Puerto Vallarta where I live, it's not bad. Maybe the temperature's about the same as Puerto Vallarta, but it's not that humid. It's like kind of a dry heat here. A couple different strategies for descending ancient pyramids. You can do the zigzag. You can do the side step. Grab the wall. That's a good one. Or you can scoot down on your butt as well on the steeper pyramids. If you're a little tired after climbing the stairs, got a little place over here to take a siesta. Seems like a popular spot. What we got in here? It's like a dark, creepy hallway that goes somewhere. So this place right here in the center of the city has all these carvings on the front. They're pretty worn. You can see these ones over here pretty well. And basically these are images, although you can't really tell, I can't tell at least. They're images of inverted heads. And they represent all the different clans or villages that they conquered. Going around the side of the building, there's still more and more. So they conquered quite a bit. Not sure if these were just individual villages that they conquered or entire peoples, but there's quite a few of them. Also, this building's pretty rare because of the shape and the lines. You can't really tell unless you're up above this whole complex, but pretty much this whole complex is like based on square lines and based on constellations and north, south, east, and west. But this one is kind of shaped in the shape of an arrowhead in a way, and all the lines are like completely opposite of what everything else was. And they think that it was like a like an observatory for astrology, built between like 100 BC to 200 AD, and it's kind of reserved for the like the official scientists of the Zapotec civilization. Kind of right next to the main temple complex area is this building, and this, they call this the palace, and it was believed to have been like the main residence of some important political leaders or maybe some of the main priests. One of the fanciest houses and one of the hottest locations in town. Also, it's got some tunnels underground which haven't been completely explored that they think maybe lead, I don't know, maybe over here somewhere or out of town. They're not sure exactly. So a lot of this hasn't been excavated completely. Some of these places they say are around 300 to 500 AD, but then as they dig down deeper they get older and older. Juego de pelota, ball court. So in this game the movement of a rubber ball, or hule, ball represented the path of the sacred heavenly bodies, the sun, the moon, and Venus. The prize bestowed upon the winner of the game was support and protection by the gods. The game took place at the floor level of the court. Hitting the ball with hips, elbows, and knees, players passed it from one end to the other. Sloping walls on the side of the court were covered with a thick mixture of lime to give them a polished surface from which the ball, if landed there, would slide down and back onto the court's floor. Alright, I just came up these stairs. They were kind of sketchy. Kind of crumbling stairs, and then they were kind of muddy too from the rain that we've been having. I was planning on coming up here yesterday. Oh, there was a huge thunderstorm. And standing on a mountaintop with lightning, not the best idea in the world. So I'm glad I waited until today. It's gonna rain later today. You can kind of see some clouds coming in over here from the coast. This is a really pretty shade tree. I don't know much about Mexican trees. Oh yeah, this is, I could already feel it. This is like 8 degrees cooler already. Nice, perfect spot to chill. So up here on top there's this big 50 meter by 50 meter square, perfectly square, perfectly lined up with all the cardinal directions area. And this was like a worshiping area for some of the higher classes in town, and it was kind of sunken down so the rest of town couldn't see them. They could kind of do their worship in privacy. Way up here above the main square. So there's the south platform over there, where I was at earlier, those steep steps. Got the palace over there. Got the ball court over here. The arrowhead-shaped building over there, which was like the astronomy building. This was a complex of temples. Some fancy houses along the side and various temples as well. Alright, last pyramid. Last stairs.
No, Papa.
Wait. Not bad. I think this is taller than over there. I think the tallest point on the mountain is that pyramid over there maybe? But you can't climb that one, so you can only climb those stairs. But this one seems a little taller. So this is the very summit of the mountain. So right next to the ticket counter and the main entry to the park, there's also the museum as well. So they got bathrooms, a restaurant, as well as a museum with some of the more preserved artifacts. This is in the Cultural Museum in Oaxaca, as well as this little solid gold mask guy and this skull coated in turquoise, as well as these urns. So there's kind of a hole in the back of this. You can't really see it from here, but where they put the remains of the body. So kind of a bonus while waiting for my shuttle over here. Just kind of found there's some more ruins right over here you can see for free. Juego de Pelota Chico. Okay, this one's not as well preserved as the other one, or hasn't been excavated as much, but a smaller place for them to play ball. Pretty nice doorway. Looks pretty solid. It's not going anywhere soon. My shuttle showed up right on time. Well, 2 minutes late, 3 minutes late. But... So that's it, everybody, for my tour of Monte Albán. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.